We can get a sense for what Descartes is up to in the Meditations if we take a look at the letter of dedication and the preface. And let's look first at the letter of dedication. Note here that it's addressed to the Faculty of Theology at the University of Paris. This already suggests that the work is supposed to be of some theological importance. And our suspicions are confirmed in the second paragraph down here, where Descartes says that two issues, namely God and the soul, are chief among those that ought to be demonstrated, with the aid of philosophy rather than theology. Okay, now why would Descartes think that philosophy has to prove that God exists and that the soul does not die with the body? Well, because although Descartes thinks that we should believe these things by faith alone, faith is not enough to convince other people who don't believe in God. And since Descartes thinks that the existence of God can be proven by natural reason, by our own mind, he's going to set out to do just that. This is what he explains on the next page, which I've got excerpted here down below, where he says the following. He says, "Moreover, I know that there are many irreligious people who refuse to believe that God exists and that the human mind is distinct from the body." Here, mind and soul, I think, are pretty interchangeable. For no other reason than their claim that up until now no one has been able to demonstrate these two things. Okay, so people are complaining, these irreligious people are complaining, that no one has been able to prove these two things, that God exists and that the human mind is distinct from the body and therefore can be separated in the afterlife. Descartes responds, "By no means am I in agreement with these people. On the contrary, I believe that nearly all the arguments which have been brought to bear on these questions by great men have the force of a demonstration when they are adequately understood, and I'm convinced that hardly any arguments can be given that have not already been discovered by others. Nevertheless, I judge that there is no greater task to perform in philosophy than assiduously to seek out, once and for all, the best of all these arguments, and to lay them out so precisely and plainly that henceforth all will take them to be true demonstrations." So the task here of the Meditations is then to offer his own proof that God exists and the human mind is distinct from the body. He's going to try and lay this out as simply as possible. Now, in the preface to the reader, Descartes offers a really nice synopsis of the 6 meditations that compose collectively the book. And I think you should read that because it gives you a nice summary or roadmap of the text as a whole, and more specifically of the first two meditations, which I've assigned for reading this module.